Well, hello folks, welcome back. Today is February 8th, 2021. This is our daily log entry. Alright, so we're looking at the euro dollars as our 5-minute chart. Now this isn't going to be a prompt every single time. I'm kind of like tired of saying it. So you just know as soon as I load the chart up without any annotations, be prepared to pause it. Alright, so we have the midnight hour in New York time. Sell side liquidity pool here. Consolidation. Rallies up initially. Now, if you recall what I outlined on the weekend commentary, I stated that we would be looking for weakness on the dollar, higher prices on euro dollar, and maybe even into the equal highs on GBP versus US dollar. So we're not really focused primarily on anything going up. We want to see it trading down to a discount. So we have a sell side liquidity pool here, and then we have the 60-minute redelivered rebalance. This is what I taught you this weekend. Now, this is the opposite of what I'm going to show you the chart of in the dollar index in a moment. But for now, just know that you want to be looking at your 60-minute chart, and you'll see the opposite of what I'm going to show you in the next chart. I will also include it in the midweek review on Wednesday. So we have a bullish breaker here. We have low, high, lower, low here. So this is a larger breaker, whereas this is a smaller breaker. And drawing that out in time, once it took that high out, it only caused a short-term little reaction here, then traded down through and into the lower level bullish breaker. You can see the reaction off the 60-minute redelivered rebalance, runs up, fair value gap, runs through the breaker, trades. Now look what's going on here. We have London close time period of the day. It's not a day where we want to see a big move. So if it's already ran up and traded into some sell side liquidity, any retracement down, a little less likely to see it rally. Trades deeper into a discount. So we have low to high. We went down into a discount here. So find your 50 level between this low and this high. We went below it there, and it overlays with a bullish breaker. Whereas if you see it up here, if this would have traded back down into it prior to London close time period, then I think the order block, the breaker, would have allowed for another leg higher. Even if it was just going to go up to the rejection block, that would have been a tradable bounce. But because it's inside of the London close time of day, it's less likely, and the probabilities are far less than it's going to be if it was seen trading into this breaker prior to this time of day, which is the importance of understanding what these kill zones are doing for you. Whereas since we have the initial high of the day in London open, then it creates the low of the day in New York. So it's a reversal market profile here, sends it up into a premium array at the time of day, London close. So any retracements down here, we're not really that interested in. But if it trades to a discount, London close can create the continuation patterns that usually will set up going into the next day. So we'll look to see if it wants to make a run above this high here when we get into Wellington or Asia tonight. Small little order block there again. As I mentioned, this would have been much more important and significant had this retracement occurred prior to this time of day. But because we've done this, this usually caps the daily range. Not all the time, but most of the time. All right, and I mentioned on the community tab on my YouTube channel that what I taught you yesterday was occurring on the 60-minute dollar index and euro dollar. So we have the fair value gap in here, and again, by me saying that, it doesn't seem like there's a fair value gap there, except for this little piece right there, okay? But it's this entire range right there. Now, it's not called a fair value gap because we refer to it as redelivered rebalance. We have this candle here going down and then coming back up, and the next candle, it trades down and through it. So we passed multiple times in this range here. So it's redelivered, rebalance. So now we use the same protocol that we use for fair value gap, but we disqualify this candle here and use the candle before it. So it's this low to this high. Institutional order flow entry drill sets up the stage for lower prices. Trades lower. It could reach below this low here for sell side and then into this imbalance. But even if that doesn't happen, we had a tradable setup with all of this framework right on the heels of me teaching it to you yesterday. All right, British pound versus the US dollar. This is our 5-minute chart. All right, so we have the London Open kill zone, creates the initial high of the day, trades down into a 60-minute fair value gap right in here, and an order block. So there's a couple different things in here that you can look at, but the turning point comes in at New York Open. So it trades there, starts to trade higher, creates a small little fair value gap in here ahead of London close, and then finally trades up into the buy side liquidity here. Now we do have a buy side liquidity pool residing here, which is what I mentioned on the weekend commentary. So it's shown on the 60-minute chart of Sunday's commentary. Okay, so that's what's being annotated here. And you can see we had a little bit of a decline here, and it's just going sideways. I'm still favoring cable going higher, and hopefully we'll see a more significant run above those 60-minute relative equal highs. And I'll have a YouTube video posted tomorrow. I'm not sure what time I'll get it posted, but it'll be something that I think you'll find interesting. Not terribly technical. It's just more along the lines of, this is where I fell victim when I first started trading in a hurry before I should have. But I'll talk to you by way of that video, mentorship, and by way of the community tab. Until then, be safe.